So I'm on my way to a youth thing, and I got the idea earlier to make a video about like bigotry, stuff like that, stuff that goes along with bigotry, how to deal with it, and how to not be a bigot. So that's what I'm doing, making this video. So driving isn't so boring. No, I'm just kidding, but bigotry is intolerance towards views other than your own, i.e. showing intolerance towards people with different beliefs, views, or values. And we see a lot of this today. Just a lot of it seems, especially with social media. It gets to be really annoying, and no one side of any issue is blameless. Just want to make that clear. However, in particular, I see there's a lot of people, a lot of Christians, Protestants, evangelicals, etc., out there who say that they're called bigots. So they get on the defensive and say, we're not bigots just because we disagree with same-sex marriage or something. The thing is, though, they, in a way, they may not be bigots, but they express it that way. For example, if I were to say to you, what you're doing is a sin, and it's wrong, and here's a Bible verse to back it up, that's pretty bigoted, whether you like to think it or not. And then, you know, just saying it offhandedly to someone, homosexuality is everywhere, or it's a sin, just expressing your disapproval of it, that's bigotry, because you're showing intolerance towards it because it's a way of life, or a way of life that you don't agree with, so you talk about how sinful it is. That's bigotry, and that's it's pretty wrong, because it's none of your business. And most of the time they'll talk about it, about homosexuality as a sin, and it has nothing to do with them. And so that's bigotry. If it's not affecting you, and it's not a negative thing, yet you're calling it that, that is basically the definition of bigotry, because there's some sort of, you have a dislike of it, even though it should be none of your business. So we see that a lot these days, and with the whole recent SCOTUS ruling here in the US and all that jazz, you know, gay pride, what have you, there are a lot of people out there on the news and just the media, social media especially, who are expressing these views, and if anyone disagrees with them or calls them wrong, which in itself could be considered bigotry, they say they're being oppressed or persecuted. That's my favorite. Christian persecution. No such thing in America, people. Now, the whole wedding cake thing was a bit of an extreme thing, I think. They shouldn't be forced to do something they're not comfortable with, and they shouldn't be forced to do that because they disagree with the lifestyle. I'm all for freedom of expression, religion, everything. And so that is just silly, the whole deal, but that's the past. Now we're dealing with now. And now there are Christians saying a lot of things about how this nation's going to hell in a handbasket because there's marriage equality, and it's kind of ridiculous. And I talk about it because we should strive to use our minds. And I know people that are against it. Whatever, man. Be against all you want. It's not going to change anything. Just be happy with who you are, and understand that people have different views from you. Understand that you can't shove your religion down someone's throat. Don't really care for that expression, but in their faces. And you're not going to change them that way by telling everyone what sin is, and it's not your place to say what sin is in general. Now, basing things on the Bible, you can't say homosexuality is a sin. Number one reason is it's an orientation, not an action of itself. So heterosexuality isn't a sin, asexuality isn't a sin, bisexuality isn't a sin. It just can't be. It's like thinking about how good a donut tastes, or better yet, being attracted to food naturally is a sin. Gluttony is a sin. Therefore, being attracted to food is a sin. That's just not how it works. So you can say the action is a sin, but the marriage even, and especially the orientations themselves are not sins. Marriage is not a sin because it says lie down. The Bible itself says lying down with man and man. That doesn't imply marriage necessarily, and this is a legal thing and not a church thing. So you're wrong. It's not any of your business, and let's just stop talking about it, because live and let live is a great philosophy, and we live in America. So with those libertarian values, people should be able to do what they want when it's legal, i.e. smoke weed, get married. I mean, this is ridiculous. And as far as changing the definition of marriage, it's not. You look up marriage, it's the union of people, lawfully, religiously, yes, and it can have a different meaning for you, but don't ruin it for others, and don't preach about it how it's wrong.
So my GoPro overheated or something because it's really hot, and this is the ending to this video. Christos Anesti. Goodbye.